What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Mint City Soccer Show. I'm Kristijan, and with me this week, Matt Swift. Matt, how you doing?
Good, Corey. Nice to be with you. Ready to kick off the season.
Nice to be with you. And nice to have actual soccer to talk about. Not preseason, not trying to fill the off-season hole. And now we've got a match to break down and discuss. You provided images with annotated doodles we'll get to later, so I'm very excited for that segment of the show. But we do have some soccer to talk about this week, so very excited to talk about that. And I guess we'll just kind of dive right into it, unless there's anything else you want to say as a preamble before we start breaking down what happened on Saturday.
No, it's good to be doing these match recaps now. So let's get into it.
All right. So this Saturday, Charlotte FC traveled to St. Louis City for the second time playing St. Louis City away. We've never played them at home, which is, again, still weird. You called that out a few episodes ago. I still agree with you. We should play them at home at some point, hopefully.
Yeah.
Didn't go as poorly as the last time we played them. Didn't go as well as we probably hoped it would have gone.
It's true.
So Charlotte FC came away with the 1-1 draw to split the points. Points on the road. I'll take it. I guess what's similar to it, I mean, this is the exact same way we started last season. Mm-hmm. Salvaging a point in a pretty average to poor played match, I would say, overall.
That's exactly right.
Again, the Seattle one last year was not pretty either, and we somehow got a point out of that, and then it kind of catapulted into something a lot better than that. So who knows? It's one match, but a pretty average showing. We'll kind of get into all the details of it. But I mean, I guess if you're looking for the positives, the glass half full people, you grab a point on the road to start the season. Points on the road are always nice to have. So we go from there and keep moving on. So just, I guess, your initial kind of reaction to the result. We'll get into all the details, some of the lineup choices, subs, and all that kind of stuff. But kind of, what are your initial takeaways from the match?
Yeah, like you were saying, like on the surface, it's you're playing your first game on the road at a season opener for another team that's a kind of a revitalized team. They have a lot of changes and kind of there's some excitement there. So to go on the road and get a point is not bad at all, considering some of the other results in the league too. There was a lot of Eastern Conference versus Western Conference matches, and a lot of the Eastern Conference lost or drew as well too. So got a lot of favorable results, which is nice. But yeah, like you were saying, Corey, we did the same thing last year. Played a game that probably maybe we shouldn't have won, but we got a point out of it. So that is definitely the positive in all this.
Yeah, that Miami match was wild too. That's a whole. We're not going to get into that. We're not a podcast talking Miami, but that was an interesting endeavor. So let's start at the beginning. And last week when David and I were recording episodes ahead of this match, we were talking about the lineup. Like, what do we expect to see? And I think most of us were assuming we'd see the same chunk from last year with the addition of Luka in the midfield. So Vargas on a wing. And then we were really kind of just tossing around, like, could be a lot of different things in the back line depending on health and things like that. But then kind of at the end of last week's episode, we were talking about, like, well, I guess the wild card could be Abada starting over Vargas, even though if you look at the end of last season, Vargas was playing significantly better. If Dean's looking at it as like, this is a new season, who's training the best right now, who's playing the best in preseason, I could see Abada getting that nod, or as also kind of like, this is your for real last chance, even though we thought last season was the last chance to give him the start. So and then you had Ream and Privet in the center back, and then Tofolo started in the left back position. So yeah, what were your thoughts on the lineup? Were you surprised to see Abada there? Kind of any initial thoughts there?
No, if you for those who listen to Soccer and Coffee, I predicted the exact lineup that rolled out. No, I think why we saw Abada is, Vargas had a concussion, so he was going through concussion protocols, and I think that derailed him a little bit. And kind of to your point, Corey, too, I think the coaching staff is kind of like, All right, Abada, here's your last chance here to really prove something and make your claim for this position.
Yep.
Another kind of I wasn't sure though was Tofolo. He was also kind of injured, and Schnegg had been playing. And I think Dean even said, like it was maybe like 50-50, but we wanted to give Harry some minutes and everything like that. And of course, you saw Schnegg get subbed in. But that was really the only thing that was maybe like, wasn't sure about that one. But everything else was pretty much straightforward with the inclusion of Luka in the midfield.
Sure. I was a little surprised to see. I mean, not surprised. I mean, I think you're right. It was a toss up, but I expected to see Schnegg just because Toffolo was fighting the injury kind of in the preseason. If for no other reason, I thought we'd see that. But again, good to see both of them play at some point in the match. So so that was nice to see. I guess let's just get into the match itself. Obviously, we had a scoreless first half. How did you feel about how the team came out in the beginning there?
Oh, I didn't like it. So, St. Louis came out with a lot of fire and aggression, and they literally had a good chance in the first 2 minutes. It kind of, they literally just dribbled right down the field right from the kickoff and kind of caught us off guard a little bit. And I'm sitting there going, oh boy. So, I really didn't like how we came out in the first half. We had, I think it was 37% possession. St. Louis was really pressing up the field. Us, on the other hand, were doing what we typically do, is kind of sit off right above the midfield line and kind of hunker back in and invite other teams to come forward. And when we did get the ball, we couldn't string two passes together. And again, St. Louis was pressing us, and we always have trouble with the press. So if I'm any team, I'm just going to press us. We just don't handle it well. We don't move off the ball well, and that's something that we've talked about a lot on this show, is you got to move and move in good pockets of space. Don't be just wandering around, and there was some of that in this match. But first half, we did not look sharp at all. Super rusty, heavy touches, bad passes. I think we were like 75% passing in the first half, and you got to understand a lot of that's passing around the back,
Right.
So,
gotta love it.
And 75% sounds okay, but it's really not. And so I thought we played extremely poor in the first half, gave up a lot of chances, and first half and second half, I just think, and we'll talk more in depth, but we were just out of shape. Maybe it's a little bit, it's a new season. Luka's still trying to learn the midfield too. There's some new dynamics on the field. Pep's back. Just our shape in the middle was atrocious. And but again, basics though. We couldn't trap, couldn't pass, couldn't move. It was really bad the first half, and I was just like, thank God the score is 0-0, because it really could have been 3-0 St. Louis at the half.
Sure, I believe I do, and I'm gonna let you cue me. Some of your screenshots I know are from the first half. I don't know if you're ready for that now, or if you want to wait a little bit to get into that.
No, it kind of, if you want to go ahead and bring them up. The whole point of me doing this was just kind of showing our space, and that has to do with our fullbacks and our center mids. There's just too many gaps, and in our Mint City Soccer Show Discord, and I think I shared this on the Mint City Discord as well. I put up a heat map of Westwood and Luka, and they spent a lot of their times out a little more wide. And if you overlap them, there's really nothing in the middle of the field. They're all on the sides. And for those that are watching, I guess, YouTube right now, you could see this.
Yeah, we can
lovely
visually explain it for anybody listening here too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There's a screen grab that I captured, and in my production value mouse writing, I kind of highlight, St. Louis is on the attack. The ball is out wide right, and you have Westwood and Luka on the right half of the field, right? Now, these are two center midfielders that should be a little more centrally, but they're both on one half of the field. You have, I think that's Zaha tracking back. Tofolo has a man. I think that's either Privet or it's just a mess. But what I'm highlighting here is Westy's not really guarding anybody. He's kind of ball watching the guy dribbling forward because Zaha has kind of lost him. So, Westwood's going to probably drift over to him. But Luka, though, and I watched him all game because I really want him to do well. He kept drifting for no reason in the spaces that he shouldn't have been in. And in this particular play, he's drifting over towards Westwood, leaving the middle wide open. You have Abada here, who is a winger. He is in the middle of the field.
He's the most centrally located player on the team. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have Nathan Byrne, who is watching the ball. He has a free runner in front of him who should be Luka, or maybe it shouldn't be Abada. It should be Luka or Nathan Byrne's man. The only problem is there is a man wide open behind Nathan Byrne too.
Yeah.
And if this ball gets crossed in, which they tried to do on this play, actually, this guy's wide open. So there's just a huge breakdown of who's guarding who, maybe a little bit of ball watching, and just positionally, we were really poor, especially in this first half. And I want to highlight that because I feel like that is something that's kind of plagued us.
Yeah.
Not just this season, but last season too. This drifting over, nonchalant drifting, I don't like. So I just want to kind of highlight that particular play. And there's many others too that Corey, if you want to pull those up.
Yeah.
And this kind of looks like the same play. It really does. It kind of looks like the same play.
Yeah.
But it's not. In this particular play, Luka is kind of called out. He's running with the referee. There's a runner in front of him going into the box unchecked. Westwood is nowhere to be found. He's jogging over. Again, you have Abada that's in the middle of the field. Not even midfield. He's more on the right side too. He's a left winger, by the way.
Yeah.
So you have everybody pushed over on this one side, and Nathan Byrne is ball watching the guy dribbling that's about to cross it in. Again, the only problem is there's a free runner behind him.
Yeah.
And this play, this guy actually crosses the ball, and luckily the runner in the middle doesn't get to it in time, and it doesn't get to the guy that's behind Nathan Byrne. So just, again, just the spacing was just all types of wrong.
Is there anything, this is I'm going to lean on your tactician knowledge more than mine, because mine is very low, as people in the podcast will know. But like, is there anything too, because I feel like I noticed on both of these, you've got Ream kind of guarding no one right here, right? Like Privet's here, Ream's between two St. Louis players that are both have a man on them. And same situation here. Privet's got this guy. Ream's got nobody. I guess he's maybe helping out over here. He's kind of looking back this way. But like, is that part of the issue? Like, should it be like, and that would give, Burns ball watching regardless, but like that would make more sense. And that frees up one of these guys to be watching this guy running into. Like, I don't know. Like, what is there anything with that piece of it, or is that what you would expect them to be?
When I played, we were always told to communicate who's got number who.
Yeah.
Like I've got number 12. Here comes a runner. And that, that's on Westwood and even Luka, like a runner coming in. I mean, these guys have to communicate. And it just doesn't seem like they are. It looks like Tim, what he's actually trying to do is he's trying to, because he's not even looking at the ball here. He's looking back at the
yeah.
He's trying to get into position to kind of play like a zone defense as this guy tries to probably cross the ball. That's, Tim is pretty clever, and he kind of makes up that, for lack of speed. But you got Privet on a guy, and then you have Nathan Byrne that's in the middle of the field who There's that runner coming in that should be probably a midfielder's, but then you have the guy behind wide open. And I feel like we overcommit a lot of times. And it's just, again, spacing and just lack of communication, it seems like.
All right, I think you got one more from the first half, I believe. Yeah, we'll pull this one up from the 24th.
Oh,
minute.
this one makes me really mad.
This is my favorite one because, again, for just to visually describe it, and you'll go through all the players, but I just really enjoy this one because it has like 3 players circled and then like a huge question mark over, and I'm trying to tell who that is.
That's Luka.
Is that Luka? We got a big question mark over. So
Yeah.
again, if you need to look at this, it's at 23-16. In the match in the first half is the screenshot this is pulled from Reddy, who's not watching on YouTube and is listening to this to kind of get a visual. But go ahead and break this one down for us.
I really do want people to go watch this play because the screen grab, if you can't see it, you have Westwood that's running back and he's pointing like, hey, there's a guy. I don't know what he's pointing at.
that is the direction of the goal.
Reem has him. What's even funnier is, if you actually play this, you'll watch Privet also point back, who he's pointing at Kahlina. Like there's nothing behind. There's nothing for him to be. It's bizarre. But what makes me so mad is you have Luka tracking back, not on anybody. And you have a St. Louis player with the ball dribbling, and he's not dribbling fast. But you have Nathan Byrne, Privet, and Westwood pointing that could all close this guy down.
Yeah.
And none of them do. And he is able, this dude is able to dribble up at a slow pace and get a shot on goal off. And it beats all I've ever seen. Like there's 3 guys guarding no one. There is a guy with a ball and none of them go and shut him down. If you look at this screenshot, I point an arrow. From where he is able to dribble to the top of the 18 there at a slow pace and shoot.
Yeah, I'm watching the video here. This might be worth, hold on. Again, sorry. I think everybody should go back and watch this on YouTube because it's worth seeing some of the visuals here. But let me pull up the actual play so we can talk about it a little bit. So let me make this go away, and then I will share. Here we go. All right. So we're about a similar place to where we got the screen grab from. But you can see all the pointing that's happening, right?
Yep.
Let's just real time watch the speed of this guy because he's not lightning quick here.
No.
I mean, that is just.
It's crazy.
Literally by the end of it, there are. Oh, I'm going back too far. There are like 3 players who could do something. Right.
Anything.
Here. They're all pointing. Privet's here doing nothing. Yep. That's Westwood, right? Westwood's here doing nothing. Yep. Burns over here doing nothing. But at least in Burns' credit, there's a guy coming over here that he has to be aware
that he actually saw for the first time, maybe all half.
Yeah. So he sees the guy coming wide on the left.
Yeah. I am a massive Nathan Byrne fan. Let me just say that first and foremost. This is one of the only few games where the more I go back and watch this game, the more I really don't like how he played. It's just, he had one of the worst games I've seen. Just positionally and just, it was an all around bad game. And here's the thing. We're kind of nitpicking here. Sure. It was the first game. So there's lots to be okay about, and, we'll see how we do in LA. And then we have like a 5-game homestand. And I try to tell some folks earlier, like with Luka, I wasn't pleased with the way he played, but I'm going to give him until after this 5-game home stretch to kind of say, this is working, this is not working. But the reason why I guess I'm so kind of keyed up for it, because it's very much like what has been happening. It's not because Luka's in there or Pep's back in. We've got Privet and Reem. It's the kind of the same things that have been happening for a while.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, you've touched on it a lot, so I don't know if you want to add anything else to it, but I was going to ask you, like, what do you think is contributing to this? Is it literally just like this is the first match of the season kind of stuff? Is it Luka trying to get comfortable in the lineup playing a real match? Like what is it? I mean, because like some of the things you were talking about were just like bad communication, heavy touches, some basic stuff. It feels like that didn't look crisp in that first half. What do you think? What do you think that is?
I mean, I'm hoping it's just because it's the first game, especially like Luka. It's his first game, first real match with the team, and we've given Abada a lot of time. We've given Pep Biel time, so
totally.
You can't say, oh, this is a failed midfielder first game, and he didn't play horrible.
No.
I guess for me, if we're kind of evolving our midfield the way we want to, I just didn't see that in this game, and we definitely didn't play through the middle. And again, if you look at the heat maps of Westwood and Luka, I mean, they're very much out wide a lot of the times. And how I want to do it is have them more in the middle, picking up runners, but also going forward to playing through the channels to Pep Biel. And I didn't see it this game. And if we're going to play like that, why not have Brandt out there who gives you more cover defensively? Now, if we want to evolve our game offensively, and have more possession of the ball and have more of a playmaker out there, Luka makes way more sense. But I again, first game, I'm just not seeing it yet, and hopefully, they'll watch game film too, and probably break this down a lot better than I can. So
I hope theirs has the same drawings on it. I would love to see a film session with Dean where he just draws a big question mark over a player's head and be like, what? Yeah.
Oh,
what were you doing?
There's another screenshot with Nathan Byrne over a question mark over his head, but that's later. That's second half.
Okay. I'll have to look. I don't know if I have one with another question mark, but we'll talk about the other one throughout the game.
It's a sneaky one.
The one, the one, I guess, real chance it felt like I saw I see the question mark. Now we're good. We got the same ones. It was kind of, I don't know. It felt like it kind of came out of nowhere, but I guess the ball in from Westwood, he kind of one times a pass and like kicks it over to Tokomati, who puts it off the bar. I believe was he offside? Was he called offside on that one?
It maybe the bottom defender could have possibly kept him on, but it was close.
He was trying to get back on side, and then but he chests the ball down. I mean, the pass was nice. The chesting the ball down and controlling it was nice. The shot was off the post. I mean, he launched that ball too. I mean, he was trying to murder that ball when it came to him. But felt like that was one of the better chances, if any, we had in the first half there.
Yeah, just we didn't have the ball,
right?
And it was one of those plays where centrally Westwood's in the middle and plays a quick fastball, positive ball right over the top. But we just didn't do that a lot. We were under pressure most of the game, and our touch was heavy. And even when we would win the ball, St. Louis would just get the ball right back because we couldn't string two consecutive passes together. There were a couple of plays in a row at the beginning of the game. I felt like Andrew Privet just had to boot the ball up the field, over and over. And I'm like, oh boy. And just giving the ball right back to him. So it wasn't a pretty first half, but we didn't get scored on.
That's true. Yeah, the possession stats were wild over the first half. I can't remember the exact number I remember seeing when I was kind of looking at stats at one point, but I mean, I feel like it was in the 60s and 70s for a lot of that first half possession.
63
for St. Louis,
63% St. Louis, 37% us. They had 10 total shots in the first half. We had 3. They only had 3 on target. We had 1 on target. And again, first half and second half, Kahlina is the reason why we got a point here. Let's be real.
Oh yeah. We can definitely get into Kahlina. Let's talk a little bit about the second half. I guess first thing, coming out of the locker room, did you see anything differently? Did you feel better about how they came out and were playing? Did it feel like more of the same to you? Kind of what was your, that early first half before the first goal goes in?
A little more of the same, and I got got into a debate with some folks on the Mint City Discord about us pressing, and people are like, "Oh no, we can't do that. Our fullback or our center backs are too slow." And I understand that they're not speed demons, but they're you can press and have your two center backs be hyper aware of positioning and not letting people get in behind them. But
Right.
and also too, like we've been very good defensively while Dean has been here. Let's make no mistake about that. But every once in a while, you need to press to keep teams honest, to keep teams pinned back, and to turn the ball over in the opposing third, so you have more offensive chances.
Yes.
And again, the way we played, we didn't have possession, we couldn't pass, and our center backs did get beat in behind. So what's the difference? Like, so I just wish we would have, to answer your question, the second half, I wish we would have come out and maybe press some. And you don't have to do it all game. Just some. We just sat off the whole time.
just any
one time,
just for any
once to do it. And we've done it before, and we've done it in the past, and we've actually turned the ball over or had the team kick it out of bounds. Like, I don't get it. And again, you don't have to do it 90 minutes or even 45 minutes. Just mix it up some.
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's absolutely a risk in it, but like when done intelligently and strategically, they can really pay some dividends there. I mean, I think I had basketball on earlier, watching some college basketball. I mean, it's like when you kind of strategically pull out the full court press, right? Like not even necessarily when you're pressing at the end of a match. It's just like when you need to change up the momentum, things aren't going your way. You're not getting some of the chances. Sometimes you pull out the full court press to just put some pressure on them to make it a little bit harder for them to get the ball forward. Those kind of things. I mean, it's the same idea. Like get them out of their rhythm. If they're very comfortable on the ball, it makes them a little uncomfortable. And it can lead to mistakes, or if nothing else, it kind of breaks up whatever rhythm they have. And you do it every now and then. You don't do it every possession, but you do it every now and then to keep them on their toes, mix it up. And it can really make a difference.
It keeps them on their toes. It kind of shocks them, because especially if you're not used to that. And I do like that we kind of sit in that low block and we take pressure. We bend, don't break. That has been super beneficial for us. But again, sometimes try to turn the ball over, press up the field, and maybe we have to change the personnel to maybe do that some, but you got to risk it for the biscuit sometime. Like, do we want to score some goals, or what are we doing?
That's the episode title right there. You got to risk it for the biscuit. I love that phrase. All right. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, your next screenshot is the lead up to St. Louis's first goal. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh yes.
Let's pull this one up for the viewing audience.
Say about this.
I will say while I'm doing this, obviously we have it on YouTube. You should check out our YouTube channel to watch these episodes. If you also use Spotify, we do upload the video to Spotify, so you can go watch video on there if that's your player of choice. But we will also describe what's happening here as we go along. So this is the one that has the sneaky question mark over here, and then the whoops, which I really enjoy, over the St. Louis player's head. So yeah, let's break this one down. This is for people who can't visually see it. This is in 59-23 in the second half. It's the lead up to St. Louis's goal.
Now, if you go and again go look at this goal, but start around like 59, maybe 20, 59-20 or 59-19. How this play starts: Luka wins the ball back and pokes it to Nathan Byrne. Nathan Byrne plays the ball back to Kahlina, and then immediately runs out to midfield and on the touchline as if he was a right winger. He's at the midfield line with his back to the touchline. He is so far out wide, right? And so you have Nathan Byrne way out there by himself, way out wide and pushed way up. Then what happens? Kahlina gets the ball, passes it to Tim. Hey, and what does St. Louis do? They press. Oh my God, novel concept. So Reem has to get the ball.
Let's while we're doing this.
Let's
I can pull
watch
up the part on the video here too. So let's get into it again for the viewing audience. For everybody else, we'll describe it.
Yeah.
All right. So I believe this is when it's back with Kahlina.
Yeah. So watch Nathan. Well, you can't really say Nathan Byrne in that clip. So Nathan Byrne is now way out wide, right?
Yeah.
He's not even in the frame. Like he should be kind of back.
He's way up here.
Way up there.
Right there.
And he is standing there watching the ball. He is basically playing a right wing position at this point. Look how far he is and just watching the ball. Okay? So that's your right winger. You have, and it might be hard to see, and how this is built up for people who can't watch the clip. So Tim Ream gets the ball. St. Louis puts him under pressure immediately. He has to quickly get it to Tuffalo. Again, they close Tuffalo down quickly. Tuffalo makes a pass to Zaha. Zaha either can't trap it well, or the defender kind of gets his foot in and gets the ball back. This guy with the ball then immediately passes it to makes a little diagonal pass here. What happens also? Ashley West, I'm pointing at the screen like people would say. Ashley Westwood.
We need you to have like the John Madden marker is what needs to happen.
Oh God, that'd be
a future
great.
episode of this.
Yes.
Like I need you to annotate live, just draw stuff on here. And with the boom every now and then, I feel really good about it.
So hold on a second. So what has happened here too? Ashley Westwood is over on the left-hand side near Tuffalo and Zaha. He moved over to possibly get a square ball from Tim Ream. So Tim Ream did not pass it to, Tim Ream didn't pass it to Westwood, and then Tuffalo did not pass it to Westwood. Tuffalo passed it to Zaha. But that's why Westwood's over here. And I have to ask, why in the hell is Luka over here? And if you back this up,
where is Luka? Hold on, I don't know if I can see where he is.
He's in the midfield. All right, so if you start right there, Luka is starting before Zaha even touches this ball. Luka is jogging over to this side of the field.
Right here.
There is a man just behind him, and so, for whatever reason, Luka has drifted over. You've got Westwood. It just makes no sense. And then Nathan Byrne is, just so far out of the play and just a non-factor. It's absurd.
Right. So here you go. Yeah, you got Luka over here jogging away. Guy behind him all by himself. By the time he realizes it, he starts running directly backward. And finally, you got some movement out of Byrne up here.
Yeah.
He's 30 yards from anybody.
Yeah, it's too late. And so so Dean even said in an interview, like he was just like, yeah, Nathan Byrne's way too far up. He said Tuffalo was also way too far up, but I don't really blame him because he had made that pass. So I'm not really sure what he was saying there. But why I wrote whoops is because why is Luka drifting over into this area?
And even when he's coming back, he's not coming back to the guy over here. Not that he would have gotten there in time, but he's still a non-factor as he's so far to this screen side of or camera side of the field.
Yeah.
That he's not proving anything where he is. Byrne can't get back in time. And then you've got a wide open player who makes an easy shot there. That's a pretty bad goal to give up, I guess, is the clear way to say it.
It's just something that I want us to work on. Again, it's first game, got to work out the kinks. But, I've seen a lot of this last year and the year before. So it's just something I wish we would remedy and just be aware of. I know it's a lot of teams overload one side. I get that. I understand that fullbacks will be inverted. Whatever. But it's just.
If I remember correctly from the press conference, I feel like Dean was talking a lot about when you were talking about the fullbacks and being too far up. He was also talking about them getting the ball too far up, like being too far up before they got the ball. He wants them to get the ball deeper and then run forward, but they were getting the ball with a guy on them immediately,
Mhm.
and that's leading to that press turnover situation that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Whereas getting the ball deeper and be able to drive forward a little bit is what he was, he was talking a little bit about that as far as their play and where he wants to build up in that way. So yeah, not a good look on that one.
Mm-mm.
So Charlotte goes down 1-0. Again, looking back at kind of what Dean was saying about it, he felt like this actually spurred Charlotte a little bit. He's like, the
Mhm.
whole game leading up to that was pretty, I think he used the word average like 9 times. Um,
Yeah.
so, he talked a lot about that, but he really felt like this was actually, the wake up call that got Charlotte playing a little better
Mhm.
in that second half. They kind of woke him up, kind of got him, be like, oh, wait, we can't keep playing this way. We got to do something to get something moving along.
Yeah.
And so how do you feel like the team responded from that opening goal?
Yeah. It seemed like there was a little bit of urgency, and I'm sure St. Louis was like, all right, we got our goal. We're kind of good.
Yeah.
We've been outplaying Charlotte the whole game basically. They really don't have anything offensively going forward, and maybe took their foot off the gas a little bit. But to our credit, we started working the ball a little better. Her touch was better. We had more of the possession. I think in the second half, it's kind of switched. We had more of the possession in the second half. It was like 58-42. But in the
Yeah, something
end,
like that.
overall, they St. Louis had more possession. But in the second half, it was a lot better. St. Louis still had I think it was 12 shots. We had 5 total, something like that.
Yeah.
So, and then we had, let's see, did we have one corner all game? And they had
Let me look and
6.
see. I got it in front of me here. Where are corners?
I think that's
There it is. Yeah, we had one.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
had 6. Yep, you got it.
Yeah, I mean, just really not a lot offensively. But the good thing about this goal is, one, I want to say something about Zaha. Zaha, I tweeted this out. Zaha is on track to be fouled 1,252 times this year. But something really kind of unexpected happens in this play in the buildup. Zaha gets the ball and gets fouled, but he doesn't go down.
Yes.
He stays on his feet.
Yep.
And he's able to get this ball and keep going. He gets it out to, I believe it was Schnegg. And then
I believe so, yeah.
Schnegg is, bombing down the left-hand side. He gets it back to Zaha in a good space. And then, but Pep, and this is how this is supposed to work. Pep is in a good spot. He's right in between 2 defenders in the middle of the field through the channels. And that's where I want us to play more, through the channels. Not out wide, not over the top, play through the channels. And Zaha slides the ball in to Pep. And I don't know how he scored from that angle.
No.
I thought Berkey was a world-class goalkeeper, but apparently Pep was too much for him here. But I was kind of shocked that the ball went in, to be honest. It was a hell of a shot.
I was too. When I saw the angle, I was like, well, this is a nice buildup. There's no way he scores it there. And somehow it finds the side netting, which was super impressive. But no, I'm glad you raised the point about Zaha getting fouled and keeping on with the play. Because I think that jumped out to me as well, as something that he doesn't always do. And I would love to see more of that. Like, yeah, you do get fouled. You get fouled way more than anybody else. You don't get the calls you should get. And I get that that's probably really frustrating. But like, there are times to go down to try to get the call, and there are times when like you've got an attacking buildup, we're better off trying to continue. And he literally, I mean, I believe is like on the ground when he makes or right before he makes the pass. Like he's on his knees, gets up, makes the pass out wide to I believe it's Schnegg, and then comes back and makes the assist pass there, which is really nice. And I mean, St. Louis had they were packing it in, trying to hold on to the 1-0 lead. So there was it felt like 20 guys back there in the box trying to defend, and it was just a really nice pass. Biel was in a really good spot and just made a beautiful finish. So that was a bright spot in a game that was not a whole lot of bright spots. Seeing that kind of build up play and that kind of goal was like, all right, that's what I want to see from this attack.
And here's the thing too. Here's maybe kind of a bright spot too in this game. It was a game that maybe we shouldn't have won,
Yeah.
but our stars won or got a point for us here. Kahlina.
Yeah.
We
got to talk about Kahlina.
Made some amazing saves. And then you have at least two of your DPs making something happen out of nothing. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes there's going to be games where we're just outplayed, outclassed. We have zero luck. And then all of a sudden, Pep or Zaha turns something out of nothing. Yep. I remember Patrick could do that, too, when he was here. And so that's great. And it got us a point. And, we did the same thing last year and we did okay. So I know we spent a lot of time kind of maybe nitpicking a lot of things and screen grabs and stuff.
Yeah, it's fine.
But it's the first game. But it is nice when our stars show up and just make something out of nothing.
Totally. We do have to talk about Kahlina though, because to your point, I mean, especially this was one of those matches that late it felt like everybody was dive bombing for the winning goal, and so there were just chance after chance after chance, and Kahlina just made some. I mean, I don't want to say we're used to it because you can't get used to like saves like this, but like it's what he does, and it's what has kept us in so many matches over the last few years, and why he was the most goalkeeper of the year a couple years ago and was in the running last year. I mean, he just does amazing things back there to save us when things break down or when players get through. And there are multiple times in the last like probably 10 minutes or whatever it was, maybe a little more than that, where St. Louis attackers are getting behind the defense and have what looked to be clear goals, one-on-one opportunities, and he is just, I don't know how he does it, but he is just all over the place and getting hands and feet and whatever he can to stop some opportunities there. So just have to shout out his play because it was unbelievable.
Yeah, he looked really sharp, and there were times last year, kind of early in the season, where he looked really shaky. So it's good that he's off to a good start. He had 10 saves.
It was a career high. I did read that. That's a career high, 10 saves.
And, Berkey's supposed to be this amazing goalkeeper. I think the MLS executives literally just put out something yesterday or today that named Berkey like the second best goalkeeper in the league. Well, Berkey had 2 saves and conceded 1 goal. Kahlina had 10 saves and conceded 1 goal. So you tell me who's better. I'll just leave it
to play a little devil's advocate. To be fair, we didn't make him do a whole lot of work.
Hey, and the thing is too, the Toklamati shot. Yeah. If he would have been on side, Berkey had no clue about that. He was not stopping that. There was nothing.
No.
I just have to give St. Louis shit though.
No, I know you do. I enjoy that. I mentioned this to David last week when we were recording I believe it was the preview episode. I don't have a dog. I don't have a strong feeling about St. Louis, but I love that you two do and other members of the Charlotte fan base do. So I just appreciate the level of St. Louis hate that comes from y'all. And I'm just like, it's fine.
It all goes back to Matt Baker, this guy from St. Louis who had a lot of time on his hands before St. Louis was a team. And as we are, getting our coaches together, our sporting director, and started getting players in, this dude, for whatever reason, is just taking shot after shot at us. Everything we did, how we were building our roster, just was crapping all over us. And I'm like, dude, why do you even care? We're not even the same conference. Like, why do you care? And then when they were building their team, he talked about how great it was and how it was a whole team full of DPs. And then they had one good year when the Western Conference was a joke, and then they haven't made the playoffs since. So I guess they didn't really figure it out after all. So
I just love it. I do enjoy the hate. I'm going to look at our listener questions real quick to see if anybody asked some of the questions. The last 2 questions I have. I don't think they did. So I'll ask a couple more questions and we'll dive into listener questions if you're good with that. Anything else you want to say? We talked about Abada getting the start. How did you feel about how Abada played?
Same old.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't horrible. I like Vargas better. Nothing kind of swayed that for me, to be honest. But again, I really want to give him the benefit of the doubt. There's just been we've given a lot of benefit. So I don't know.
Yeah, Abada had a couple chances, didn't really do much with them, if I remember correctly. Vargas had the one kind of, I feel like it was like a half chance on a volley that went kind of the side net over there as well. But yeah, like I'm fine giving him, Abada, giving him the start of a couple matches to see if there is something there. But I want to kind of short leash for his starts if it turns out that Vargas still is the better option there.
Yeah, and you gotta remember, Abada's a designated player. We pay him a lot of money,
right?
And
he's the second highest paid player on the team, I believe.
Yeah,
behind Zaha.
and he had a decent shot on goal, but again, like, we need you to do something. Like, Pep does stuff, Zaha does stuff, Kahlina. Like, you are who you are, the designation that you have.
Yeah.
At some point, you've got to do something. So,
yeah. And then the other question I was going to ask is, other than the Vargas sub, how'd you feel about the subs from Dean? Let me just kind of go through them real quick. It was Schneggen for Tofolo.
Yeah, that was a planned sub.
Yep. Gianni in for, was it Luca, I believe, right?
I think so, yeah. I think, yeah.
And then Tiger Smalls came in for Tokomati. Yeah. I said it with a straight face, and you got the reaction. So Schnegg, we can kind of put aside, like you said, playing sub because Tofolo had been with a knock, so like they were limiting his minutes, fine. So I guess more focusing on Gianni for Luca and Smalls for Tokomati.
Yeah, I was shocked that Gianni came in. And I don't know if this was hey, it's Luca's first game, just getting some minutes in his legs, that type of sub, or it was like, hey, I don't like what I'm seeing. Let's put in Jabril and get going here. So you got to kind of wonder, Luca's brought in to elevate our team, and he gets subbed out at the 68th or 9th minute. So you got to kind of wonder there. The Tiger Smalls sub, so Archie Goodwin has been, he kind of was injured, hasn't had a full preseason. So, okay, got to have I guess you need a different person to sub in. My only problem here is it was in like the 88th minute.
Yep.
So did a Tokomati have an injury? Was he just completely gassed? You think you're at the end of the game, you're going to be throwing balls into the box, like you would think. You want your best striker up forward, but you put in Tiger Smalls, and Tiger Smalls actually had a chance to make a through ball pass to a wide open player, and he didn't do it. And Brandon Cambridge was sent packing. Tiger Smalls stays. Now, I don't have anything against Tiger Smalls, but I don't understand the love that Dean had. Well, I can understand because he's British, but like, and I said what I said.
Uh-oh.
I might get some shit for that, but I said what I said. It just came out of my mouth. But like, I don't get it. I didn't get the sub. 88th minute makes no sense at all. Okay. Yeah, that's it. I don't get it.
No, I totally agree. That was the one that jumped out to me. I will say before I get into this, David did text us. He could be on the show tonight, but he said he wanted to be known that he wants Brant to get more minutes. So the Gianni sub for Luca.
Yeah.
Very mad about Brant not getting a chance. And it makes sense why Archie can't play. Like that's fine. But I feel like I don't have any hate for Tiger Smalls, but I also struggle to think of times where he's done anything that impressed me or showed me something, right? Like I feel like he gets thrown in and he's there, but like he's
very streaky. Yeah. Like there were times when he played at Legacy, I was like, holy crap, this kid is amazing. Like, and
Yeah.
I was like early on, I was a big Tiger Smalls fan. And I still want him to do well. It's just
Oh, sure.
again, it's kind of like, like there's nothing like, whoa, yes, he's really progressing and
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, we have Berchimas, who apparently has interest overseas, and I can't see any difference between those two players. Like, why
is he not getting playing time? Like, that's what I keep thinking about too. I know he's a development prospect overseas. Like, it's not like you would go there and start immediately or anything like that. But like, if he's a level of player that is getting that kind of attention, how is he not getting any minutes in Charlotte?
I don't know. And that's a really good question. And there's this weird dynamic, and we've talked about this a lot with different players, like a Brandon Cambridge. There are certain players that coaches just will not. They're like, they're not in my plans. And you're like, why? Or why is this person part of your plans and not this other person? So I don't know. I don't know if this is a coaching preference, or I don't know if this is like the sporting directing side being like, yeah, good young kid, but not progressing at the level that we want. I don't know. And and I want to clarify something. We talked about this on Soccer Coffee. Like, just because Bayern Munich likes this kid, he's not starting on the first team.
No,
I saw a lot of tweets out there talking about, if it's good enough for them. I'm like, dude, Bayern Munich
very clear. Yeah.
They have enough money to buy $200 million players like him and pay $1 million for a player and then put him in their system and be like, man, maybe they'll work out. Maybe they won't.
Yeah, they're pulling him in. They're pulling him in to stash him on a lower team or to loan him out somewhere. Yeah. That's a future development thing. They are not saying he's ready to start on that squad. So let's be very clear. But still, I think like to me, it says if he's getting that kind of attention, I'm not saying he should even be starting for Charlotte Bain's Rich Imagination, but like, I'm just surprised we never ever see him. Because I think you'd want to be seeing him getting some minutes here and there. If he's that quality a player, and especially if you're looking at him as like kind of a developmental player for us that we, then sell on to make some money for, like give him some minutes to show where he's I don't know. It's just strange to me that we don't ever see him play and he gets the attention. But you're right. Like, be very clear to people that it's not like he's going to go start in Germany,
right.
If he transfers over there.
Yeah. I mean, maybe eventually, but back to the Tiger Smalls sub, like, I want to like Tiger Smalls, and I was really big on him early on, but he is very streaky. He can sometimes be seems a little lazy in his play. Now, I'm not saying him personally, but like in his play,
sure.
That urgency sometimes is not there, but then other times he's fantastic on the ball. But there was an opportunity in this game where if he would have made a better pass, we would have had a one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and who knows? But the timing of the sub was weird. If you want to rest Adon a little bit, something happened, then bring him in 70th minute, 75th minute, but it was the 88th minute.
Yeah, what's the point at that point? Yeah.
I was very confused. Yeah.
Any other final thoughts or anything? We got a bunch of listener questions. I'm going to dig into those, but kind of last chance for final thoughts on this match.
No, let's get into the questions.
All right. Sounds good. All right, so first one from Matt Chantry. You're Dino. You have to focus on fixing one thing about the St. Louis performance in training this week. What is it that needs the most focus?
Just spatial awareness and probably trapping and passing. Basics, the basics. Communication, passing, trapping.
Yeah, no big deal. Yeah, I mean, it seems like that and like another basic, which is like communication. Because again, like you seeing some of those, like being able to talk to each other, know who's covering who, and making sure we've got guys covered. Because again, like when you pointed out in that run of play in the first half, like all the pointing that was proving nothing. So making sure we're communicating well, just some of the basics, and hopefully that would just be a thing that comes with time. And there's just some rusty first match things happening, and we just get away with it and get a draw. But but yeah, it wasn't anything massive. We'll just get back to some of the basics and do those well. Yeah. Russell has a handful of questions. He talked about Breaking Mass a little bit. So we can move on from that. We don't need to talk about too much more. He also asked about. I'll say this. You answered the Archie Goodwin one, but I'll ask this. Oh no, I can't ask the question because it's making sense. I'm just rambling now. Sorry about this. He did ask, who are you more concerned about not seeing minutes, Brant Bronico or Archie Goodwin? But we talked about that with the Archie Goodwin piece. So now let me get to the couple questions we will answer from him. Do you take away more positives or negatives from the St. Louis match?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm going to go with positives. Let's take some positives from this.
I like it.
Yeah, first game we were not good, but we got a point on the road. You know, lots to fix, but good stuff. And here's a really awesome positive. Well, two things. Kahlina off to a flying start. Looks freaking sharp. He's got that new like headband thing. He's got his hair all back, all cool and shit.
I did like the hair.
Yeah. And then how about Pep Biel? He's back from an injury, and he comes in first freaking game, scores a goal. So there you go. Positives, man. Let's go.
Yeah, and there's nothing in this match that makes me feel like, oh God, the sky is falling. It was just like not a well played match. So it's all things that I think are fixable, and we move on from there. And then so his second question was, what are your expectations now for the Galaxy game?
This one worries me.
Have they changed at all? I guess I'll kind of tweak the question too. Have your expectations or thoughts changed at all after seeing the first match?
Yeah, the Galaxy game kind of worries me just because they have some dynamic players. And they're going to have to, there's going to be a lot of runners and guys that we're really going to have to be defensively mindful of. So that worries me. I'm hoping that our spacing and communication is on point, but this game actually kind of worries me, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. I mean, to start the season with 2 road matches as well, too. I mean,
for sure.
To go out west for road matches, not even going locally to road matches. You're going St. Louis to LA to open your season after being in California for the preseason tournament long ago. So that's a lot of time away from home. So that's not nothing.
Who did LA play their first
LA,
game?
I was just looking it up. LA played New York City FC at
the end. Was that
drew them 1-1? Yeah.
1-1, yeah. So I think they picked up a red card.
They did.
Too?
Hold on, where was
it?
Yeah.
That's funny too. They picked up a player from St. Louis too. I think he scored in this game too. I think, was it Klaus?
Yeah, Klaus scored.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's going to be tough. I think LA is going to be a pretty decent side. And St. Louis is not really that strong. So I like I said, the LA game worries me, but that's okay. We got the 5-game road stand coming quickly. So maybe just getting some of these kinks worked out, getting the rust knocked off these first 2 games, and then we'll be flying.
Yep. All right. Joe asks, the window is still open. What position are you improving on if you can?
I don't think we can. I think the roster is full. I think we've hit our cap. But let's say that we did have
let's play hypothetical.
You had some money and you've got the space.
Sure.
I think still the big worry is like center backs. How's that going to pan out this year?
Yeah.
And then I would maybe think about a left winger in case something happens with Zaha.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I think everywhere else you're at least okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think center back is what I also want to see too. And obviously, like, we haven't, I in my mind, when we were talking about this last week a little bit, like, Privet is kind of in there for now, but I ultimately see that being Henry Kessler when he's back healthy. Do you think that's true? Or even like Morrison, Ajimon coming up, like, do you think it's Privet's to lose, or do you think he's there now because of injuries and other things?
I think it's Privet's to lose. I think the Kessler signing was for depth, but also to push Privet. And I mean, again, like Privet's been a starting center back for us, so they know. And you could say, hey, we might be a little weak there. I maybe just being hopeful. I think the drop off that we saw with Privet coincided with the fullback woes that we had last season.
You're right. You're right.
And again, maybe I'm being positive or being optimistic there. But again, it's just this first game, we were all out of shape, and so we'll see. To be determined. But I do think it's Privet's position to lose.
Yep. All right, let's go to Keith. Are we all, myself included, overreacting to one game? Or is this a sign of how the season will go?
No, good question. I found myself getting worked up, but I think it was, what we mentioned is like I'm seeing the same things that I've seen before.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, this team is now this. It's like, no, I've kind of seen the same old little mistakes and areas that we need to improve since Dean's been here.
Yeah.
So that's kind of wearing on me a little bit. And I think maybe that's why I'm a little more aggressive in my critique just for this first game. But I do have to keep in mind it is just the first game.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I kind of have to remember. And again, I just equate it back to first game last season. And, I would say that last season was a good season, right?
Yeah.
And I think if you just looked at that first match, it was not pretty. It was not pretty at all. And we somehow salvaged a 1-1 draw out of it. And from an own goal, right? We didn't even score a goal. It was an own goal that got us the 1-1 draw.
So, yeah. I think so.
So like you can't read too much into it. Also on the road, also on the West Coast, like there's a lot that goes into it. So again, maybe we're being a little bit too positive, but I'd kind of wait to see how things look. Let's get a little bit into that home stand. And if things are still looking real shaky after a couple games at home, then I start to get more concerned. All right. You specifically made sure I would ask Philip's question. So I will ask Philip's question.
Oh, yeah.
So he was responding to a post you made about tactics, but he says, I understand the counter strategy, but I don't understand the passing. It seems like we pass a lot to space instead of to a specific player or target. We don't have the best passers in the world, nor the fastest guys, which results in a lot of passes to the middle of nowhere on the offensive half of the field. How difficult would it be to change the passing tactics? What are some of the common threads in the matches under Dean where we controlled the match from opening kick versus doing the usual counterattack?
The reason why it's the same thing I kind of said a bit ago. Is like we keep doing the same things over and over. Is our fullbacks getting forward and maybe going too far. It's our midfielders overcommitting and not checking behind them. In possession, we're not moving well, getting into space to get the ball. We're kind of like jogging into space. And the thing is, that's okay if you're not under pressure, but teams are starting to get smart and press us because we have never handled it well from the time Dean has been here. It's the reason why we lost in the playoffs to Red Bull. Like Red Bull kills us. St. Louis, who's not that great of a team, pressed us and we couldn't handle it. First half, like, booting the ball up the field, out into nowhere, losing possession, and just not getting in good pockets of space to receive a ball, and then being able to make another pass instead of immediately losing it, or getting shaky and making a really aggressive pass where someone has to trap like 100-mile-an-hour ball to them. So it's just, I don't know. We've got to get better at playing under pressure with the ball at our feet on the ground instead of just booting it up when we feel any type of pressure coming.
You're right. I mean, this has been the thing that I think has bothered me for so long about watching this team. And I especially get frustrated watching other teams who clinically pass and move the ball forward and just cut through our defense and get into scoring opportunities. And I feel like I literally never see us do that. Like other teams make it look, and I know it's not easy. I know there's a lot of work that goes into building those systems.
Yeah.
But they make it look so easy to move the ball forward. And I know we also don't press very much. We make it sometimes a little bit easier to get the ball forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, just it's so frustrating to feel like we work so hard to get the ball forward into the attack, and other teams just go doot 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 doot, and they're in in the final third with a chance.
Well, the thing is, like, if you're in that low block, right, and you're allowing the team to come forward, by the time you even have a chance to get the ball, they're in your own half. Now, I know we kind of sit right above the halfway and then kind of make a half attempt to get the ball, it seems like. Sometimes some of our players are moving, sometimes they're not. And again, back to communication and having a cohesive game plan. But if you do win the ball in a low block, you're in the low block. And so teams can just stay up and press you and put you immediately under pressure. So at some point, we have to come out like to just open the game offensively. I don't know. We got to mix it up some.
Yep. All right. I think we have a couple more. Let's see. This one is from Paul. Dean made a point to speak about how he wanted to make speed and fitness a focus during preseason training, and how he wanted that to specifically to translate into improvements on the pitch during the season. Did we see that pay off on Saturday? Did anyone seem noticeably improved in those areas? And then I guess we know how he feels. Did Dean's plan / goal fizzle a bit?
Yeah, I have some problems with this whole like, oh, we're going to focus on fitness. It sounds great. Yes. We're going to run teams into the ground. We're going to outlast everybody. But we're going to sit in the slow block and not press anybody. And we're not going to pressure the ball. And we're going to jog around and not get into good pockets of space. So to me, it's asinine. Like, oh, we worked on fitness. Well, you need to work on trapping the ball and passing one, and then communication. So maybe work on the basics. I don't know. It just makes me kind of angry. It sounds great. Like, yeah, working on fitness. Well, also, can we work on our players not getting injured? I am so I didn't get to hear this too. on Soccer and Coffee. I talked about how mad I am about our center back signing from St. Louis. How the hell are you already hurt, dude? Like,
right.
And the thing is, like, I'm kind of frustrated at our front office. Like, you sign a player that has a history of getting injured. We had so many problems last year with players getting injured. Mm-hmm. You're trying to sign a guy for depth, and he gets injured. Who is our physio? Like, what is happening?
I don't understand.
Like, why is everybody just always hurt all the time?
Yep.
And so I'm a little frustrated about we're focusing on fitness and the signing. And to answer Paul's question, I don't know. I saw nothing of hustle. I saw nothing of fitness. Both. I didn't see us at the end of the game like, man, we look so fresh. We are so onto it. Man, look at us just blowing past people. You know, Brant Bronico is probably the most fit player on the team, and he didn't even get a minute. So I don't know.
Yeah, like usually when you hear someone talking about fitness being a focus, it's because you play a style that needs that, and that's your advantage, is that you are going to outwork people in your style of play and with your fitness, right? Like you're playing a style where you're pressing a whole lot, you're attacking quickly, people are moving a whole lot. Like there's a reason you need people to be, fast and in good shape to last through those games. But that's not what we play. I mean, to your point, the only fitness we need is literally being fit enough to play. Like we need people to not get hurt.
Yeah.
Like we need people to be at a fitness where they can actually be on the field. And that's really all I care about at this point.
And honestly, when Dean said we were working on fitness, my first thought was, oh man, we're really going to like go at it teams. We're going to press a little more. Right. And again, I'm not saying do it the whole time, but like, we're going to like be moving a lot more, get some energy going. And then this first game, I'm like, oh, none of that.
Nope.
Okay. What are we?
Nope.
I'm glad we focused on that.
Yeah. I almost forgot David did text us a question other than talking about Bronico not getting minutes. Um, is Luca being asked to play a pivot 6 with Westy or a more box-to-box 8? Which is his strength, and are we playing him out of position if it's a pivot 6? I'm trying to make sure I understand this question. But which is his strength, and are we playing him out of position if he's at a pivot 6?
I think what they want out of both Westwood and Luca is like both can move up and down the field, both can control the ball really well. The hype, supposedly both can control the ball really, really well. Both can make really good passes. While Luca's on the field now over maybe Brant or even Gianni, is that Luca can move the ball well. He sees the field well, right? He can make those passes supposedly through the channel. He lacks a little bit, defensively as compared to, Brant per se, but we're trying to evolve our team, be more offensively sound, control the ball more, pass the ball better. That all sounds awesome. So does the training and all that stuff, but none of that, absolutely zero of that happened in this game. But to be determined. So I don't think Luca's playing out of position or anything like that, or being asked to do anything that he cannot do. We just didn't get to see it this game. So hopefully next game we can see a little more, and then especially during the home stretch, really get to see what he's capable of, because I've seen him do some pretty amazing stuff, and I was excited about the signing. But just didn't really get to see that this first game.
Yeah, agreed. All right, a couple more questions and we'll get out of here. These are more on the fun side of things, I believe. From Bryant. Best tips for staying awake since we play at 10:30 next weekend.
That's right. Yeah, for those that don't
West
know,
Coast time.
We're on the West Coast. Game starts at, I think it starts at 10:30.
Yeah,
so that's
sorry.
like
the match starts at 10:30.
Yeah.
Which actually means like 10:40 because the way MLS says time, it's like 10:40 or 10:45.
Right. Take a nap, I guess. Get ready. Don't drink too early.
Yeah.
Maybe get some coffee in you, some tea.
Yeah.
I don't recommend any other drugs or anything like that. This is a PG friendly show. So naps, man. Naps.
That's a good call. The problem is, I'm solo with kids this weekend, which is fine, but that means I can't take a nap before they go to bed. And if I take a nap after they go to bed, that's not a nap. That's called sleep. And I am not getting back up. So I think I'm gonna have to lean more into the limit any kind of alcohol beforehand.
Yeah.
And lean on caffeine, and then maybe start, grab a beer when the match starts, and I should be okay.
Because that's a deadly combination like that, especially for not playing well. That's a recipe for disaster on social media. When it's late, you've been drinking, your team plays like crap, and you grab your phone, you're like, let me get on Twitter and let me tell Dean Smith how to run his damn team.
Yeah.
I don't recommend any of that stuff. So
Absolutely. All right. I believe there was maybe one more. Make sure I'm not missing anything. This is not at all soccer related, so we're going to get into it. Chris.
Oh.
What was your favorite breakfast cereal as a kid? The one you'd fix when you were sitting down to Saturday morning cartoons.
I was a big Fruity Pebbles person. I mean, I could eat a whole box of Fruity Pebbles. There was a bunch of them, though. Like, I feel like I've had a lot of different cereals.
Yeah.
My parents were probably not the best as far as nutrition, but I remember eating lots of cereal growing up.
So I don't remember eating a lot of different types of cereal growing up either. But I think my answer for this one is Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries.
Oh, that's a good one.
Was my go-to.
Did it like just brutal your mouth?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, it just destroys your gums occasionally.
Oh
yeah, it's fine.
My gosh, that's good though. That's a good one.
That's still, and I don't eat a ton of cereal anymore. But like if I'm going to, that's what I would lean on. Still, is I still love some Captain Crunch. Was my go-to like all the way through college, when cereal became the meal you could eat. All hours of the day. It could be dinner.
Yeah,
it could be late night snack. You had some cereal around. So that's my answer.
Little man's been eating cinnamon toast crunch now,
Mm,
and that was kind of a big one back then. I
it's a
remember.
good
Do you
one.
remember? You remember? I remember when Reese Puffs first came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that was. Ooh,
Yeah, that was dangerous. I love Reese's,
me
but
too,
I never had the cereal very often. But whenever it was, I was very excited because that was
man.
good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't eat cereal a ton. I always like Pop Tarts as like my
Oh,
unhealthy
okay.
breakfast thing, quick breakfast thing.
Did you have a
So I get
favorite
some.
flavor?
Yeah, any of the fruits. I mean, if I had to pick one, it would be like this frosted strawberry would be my go-to.
Mm,
But I was way more on the fruity side than like any of the like s'mores or any of those kind of flavors. But
yeah,
frosted strawberry if I had to pick one.
yeah, I did like the s'mores one for sure, and I like the Pop Tart one that we actually put on the Mint City Collective scarf. And I
The
can't remember what
wildberry
that.
one for the
Yeah,
jersey, is
yeah,
that one?
is
Yeah.
that what? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one too.
That's
Um,
a good one. Yeah, that
yeah,
was I could still I don't buy there's certain things I don't buy for myself because I know I'll eat them in a bad
yeah,
way.
yeah.
And one of them is Pop Tarts. Like if I have Pop Tarts
Mm.
around the house, I'd be like, ooh, I can get a Pop Tart.
Now, were you a big
No,
toaster strudel guy?
no.
Okay,
I mean, I'll have them now, but it was never a thing I had growing up. It was not part of my
mm.
world.
Okay,
So, so no. I also a lot of times we got in a habit of I didn't eat breakfast like before school.
yeah,
I am not a morning person. Still, and I was definitely not in like high school. And so there was no way I was waking up early enough to actually eat food before I got, into the car to go to school. So I just mostly didn't eat breakfast for a lot of my like teenage years.
okay.
So that it limited how many options I was having in the morning. It was usually like maybe a Pop Tart, maybe a bowl of cereal if I had time. But I do love a
Okay.
big breakfast, like a good big weekend. This is why I'm never on Soccer and Coffee, by the way. And
That's
David and
right.
Matt know this. Like my family, we do our big Saturday morning breakfast at like the diner near our house. And it's like we all look forward to it. It's like one of my favorite parts of the week is going and eating like a big old diner breakfast. So like
Yeah,
big breakfast is probably my favorite meal, period. So
that's fun.
yeah. That's why I'm never on your morning side. Like I like there's I feel like at some point I should like, be like, I can give up breakfast one time. It's like, no, this is my non-negotiable in the Mint City
Yeah.
Soccer Store contract. It's like, guys, I'm not going to be there on Saturday mornings.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I'm eating liver mush. I'm drinking coffee. I'm happy. I'll check in with y'all later.
I love that you also love liver mush because I
Yeah,
do
man.
too. And people make fun of me so much for it,
It's
but
the best.
I love it.
And I successfully got both of my girls to like it. My wife does not.
Ooh,
My
okay.
wife's not like super anti it, but she definitely doesn't want it.
Okay.
And we also go to breakfast with my mother-in-law, and I think it grosses her out, like just seeing it. And so I like it, and I got the girls to like it. So both of them, like
That's awesome.
me and the girls, literally order the exact same breakfast, and
Yeah.
they split it, and I eat the whole of mine. But
Do
we
you
the
eat a
exact same
sandwich
breakfast.
or do you just eat?
So I
do you,
order
like-
like a plate with eggs and liver mush, grits, and a biscuit. But what I'll do is I'll make a biscuit. Like I'll take a part of the liver mush patty, just like a quarter of it, and a little bit of egg, and make a liver mush biscuit.
Okay.
And I'll eat that, and then I'll actually eat the rest of it on the plate. So kind of a hybrid.
Okay. I usually make a sandwich and I usually have mustard on it.
Mustard's fine. I usually put ketchup on most anything if I'm going to put something on it, but mustard is good for liver mush. I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, that's what I'll be doing Saturday morning.
There you go.
So I don't know if we'll have soccer and coffee this week because David is traveling a bunch this week, and like I said, I will not be available. so we'll see. But excited to again. It wasn't maybe the opening game we wanted, but excited to have the team back. Excited real soccer. Really excited for a couple weeks from now when we're actually able to see the boys at the bank playing at home. But we'll definitely be tuning in this weekend. Hopefully we rebound a little bit and have a good performance against the Galaxy this weekend as well too. But regardless of how it goes, we'll be back to talk about it next week as well.
That's right.
Final reminder or another reminder to check out the Patreon to get in the Discord, ask questions. If we do special episodes during the week, that's where we'll put them to. We have the secret show that will be relaunching for this season. So stay tuned for that if you are a subscriber in that. But the only way to get it is to join the Patreon. You'll get access to the Discord and the feed for the secret show as we do those.
Oh, and we can't forget, on the 6th.
Yes.
We are doing a live show.
Yes.
At Noda.
We teased this a little bit last week. We didn't give any details about it. So we will we're like, there's a thing maybe possibly happening in a few weeks. But yes, you have more of the details than I do. But
yeah,
live show.
We'll put a lot of stuff in in the Discord and on social media, but we're going to be doing the night before the first home game. Going to be a big celebration. Going to get a lot of people out at the brewery, but we'll put time and place and all that stuff coming up this week. But yeah, we're going to do a live show, and that's going to be fun. We'll try to get a couple of you guys and gals that listen to the show and that's especially in the Discord, maybe to join us and say whatever you want.
Yeah, we've done this, if not every year, most every year. I feel like there might have been 1 year we missed. That we either did it before the actual season opener or the home opener. But it's always a good time. It's fun to see people in person. We usually invite kind of whoever wants to wander by. There's a decent chance if you wander by and talk to us, we'll put you on a microphone.
Yeah, we're gonna have speakers there, so everybody can hear the episode, whether they want to or not. They'll have to deal with it. Amazing. Yeah, there may be some time restrictions. I'll get some clarification there. Yeah, I'm like, you guys can't talk the whole entire time, but
or I would say with speaker restrictions, we can continue talking to our internet friends, but they might cut us off on the speakers.
That's true.
They can't stop us from talking. They can't silence us.
You can never stop us.
All right. Well, look out for the details for that. Check out the Patreon, all that good stuff. Again, good to have you back, Matt. Good to be talking about some soccer and looking forward to this weekend as well. So until then, we'll see y'all later.
See you guys.